Hello everyone, good morning. I'm glad to welcome you all to ManageEngine's free training on OpManager MSP. Before we get started, please give us a yes in the comment box if you can clearly hear me and view the presentation. Give us a yes in the comment box if you can clearly hear me and view the presentation. I think we're good to go. I would like to inform you that we do have a team of panelists to answer your questions. Please feel free to raise your queries on the chat panel and we will get back to you in a minute. The recorded version of this webinar will be emailed to you by tomorrow along with the presentation material. So you could use it for your future reference as well as share it with your friends and colleagues. Let me introduce myself. I am Gladius, product expert at ManageEngine. I am really delighted to be your presenter for this free training. Here is the training schedule of this free training series. The training is split into two parts. On May 10th, we discussed onboarding and monitoring multi-client networks using OpManager MSP. And today, in the second session, we will discuss client network visualization and fault management. Let's start our today's session. The agenda for today's session is first we will have a recap of part 1 of this free training series, and then we will dive into multi-client fault management, instant fault notification, and then we will discuss integrations and workflows in detail and client network visualization. Followed by that, we will explore NCM add-on and data center management. And finally, we will talk about reports. Without further ado, let's begin. Starting with a recap of part 1, first we discussed what is OpManager MSP. Followed by that, we learned the steps to install OpManager MSP's central and probe servers. Then we discussed how to onboard clients using OpManager MSP's client onboarding features. Followed by that, we spoke about multi-client monitoring, various monitors such as performance monitor, file folder monitors, script monitors, and so on. Let's jump into today's session. The first topic for today's session is multi-client network fault management. There can be various types of faults in a network, with your client's network health depending on various resources like the system resources, services, network connectivity, etc. Getting to the root of the problem is simplified when the monitoring solution raises meaningful alarms. In OpManager MSP, we help you identify the problems quickly with its detailed alarms indicating the resource that is poorly performing in the client network. With OpManager MSP, you can proactively identify any faults in your client's network with threshold-based alarms. Threshold can be set by two methods. One is by doing it manually, where you can set thresholds for a particular metric, say CPU utilization, for one device or for multiple devices of the same type. The other method is AI-powered adaptive threshold, where OpManager MSP will learn the data patterns and raise alerts based on the same, and all you need to do is simply enable the feature. Let's go to the UI quickly and check out where to enable this feature. Select a probe for which you'd like to enable this adaptive threshold. Go to Settings and Monitor Settings. You'll find a checkbox named Enabled Adaptive Threshold. Once adaptive threshold feature is enabled, the calculated threshold values will be automatically associated to all the new devices discovered into OpManager MSP. Besides this, you can get alerted based on syslogs, and traps generated in your multi-client networks. You can also acknowledge, suppress, and escalate the alarms to gain stronger control over your alert messages. In OpManager MSP, we don't have just one but multiple notification options as well for you to choose from, like email, SMS, and more. This way, alarms will never go unnoticed. Let's get into some details. First topic that we are going to discuss is alarms. Normally, for the client metrics that you are monitoring, threshold values are set, and when the metrics exceed the mentioned threshold values, OpManager MSP notifies the technician or the admin who is responsible for overseeing the client network performance by generating an alarm. By creating threshold based alerts, you can proactively monitor your client network and ensure it doesn't go into unplanned downtime or cause device failure. With OpManager MSP, you can easily identify client device alarms quickly with severity based, color coded alarms and event history. Let's check out alarms in our setup. Go to Alarms tab. You'll find all the active alarms in this screen. The color codes are very clear. If there is no issue and if the alarm's clear, it will be shown in green. Attention will be shown in yellow, followed by trouble in orange, and the critical alarms will be shown in red. And the purple indicates that the service is down. If you click on a particular alarm, you'll be able to view all the details about it. You can acknowledge, unacknowledge the alarm. You can clear, delete it. You can configure notifications as well. If you click on this button, we'll talk about notification profile shortly. You can also escalate alarms if it's not cleared in the particular time which is mentioned. You can categorize the alarms as well. Critical alarms will be displayed if you click on this red color dial over here, and the troublesome alarms will be displayed if you click the orange dial. You can also see there are various tabs over here. The event log alarms will be displayed here. It is categorized, and syslog alarms, trap alarms, and so on. Let's get back to our presentation. The next topic is instant fault notification. Alerting does not have to be web alarms all the time. Our goal is to notify the technician in charge of the client network whenever a threshold is violated. And for that purpose, OpManager MSP provides various means of notification options. You can convert alarms to any type of notifications like email, SMS, or ticket with customized message and description. You can customize the level of details in alarm to enable faster and easier troubleshooting of client network issues. As the sooner a network issue is fixed, the sooner it can get back to performing its normal functions. You can notify the stakeholders through the right channel they prefer and at the right time. Notification profiles alert you if there are any faults in your client network devices. You can configure notification profiles to receive email or SMS alerts, sound alarms, run programs, or system commands, or even forward traps or syslogs. Let's check out how notification profile works in OpManager MSP. Go to settings. The notifications, you will find notification profiles option. These are the notifications that I've created. You can add new ones over here. These are the different types of notification profile that is available. You can view the report, edit, delete, or copy notification profiles using the icons which is provided over here. This is a quick overview on notification profile. Let's dig a little deeper by exploring a few popular notification profile types. The most preferred and the most common mode of notification is email. This process starts with setting up a mail server. This will allow you to trigger notifications for any alarms generated in OpManager MSP. If you will be away from your computer more often and are not on any mobile applications, you can choose to be notified via email. Let's see how to configure email notification profile. Go to Settings. Under General Settings tab, you'll find Mail Server Settings. So this is where you configure your mail server. You can provide the server name, port number, timeout second, from email ID to email ID. And you can also choose secure connection details if you want it SSL enabled or TSL enabled, and save. You can also give details about your secondary mail server. It will just take a few minutes of your time. You can easily get it completed. Also, let me show you how to do it from notification profiles window. You can click on add, go to email tab over here. Most of the notification profile types follow the same steps as email. So let's check out email. You can give the from email address to email address, mail format, subject variables, message, and go to the next tab. You can choose when you'd like to receive this notification. You can choose the scenarios. If you want to receive notifications via email when the device is down, and you can also choose the severity level. Next, you can choose the devices for which you would like to apply this notification profile, and then choose a time window as well. You can apply this during your work hours, say for example 9 to 7 o'clock in the evening. You can choose days as well. You can also delay the trigger in case if it is cleared within the time you are giving here, you will not be notified. You can also choose to not get notified if the alarm is acknowledged. You can also give a recurring trigger so that you will be triggered more than once. Giving 10 minutes and 3 times, so I'll be notified 3 times for every 10 minutes. And next, so you can check if all the given details are right and save. And all the other notification profile types also follow the same steps for configuration. Let's get back to our presentation. This is a quick glimpse on email. Let's go to our next topic. is webhooks. As you know, webhooks allow applications to communicate between themselves and facilitate operations in an effective and faster way. OpManager MSP leverages this to push alert messages to specified URLs in case of any event. Configuring webhooks can be done real quick and easy with OpManager MSP. This webhook feature will let you send alerts to individual users or groups in the communication channels who are responsible for handling the issues. You can easily customize the details you provide in alerts that are sent. To not only ensure privacy, you can be more specific to ensure faster client network fault identification as well. So let's see how to do it. Go to settings, notification profiles window. Click on add and you'll find a card named invoke a webhook. You can give all the details here and configure webhook easily. We also have email-based SMS, and log a ticket, web alarm, and more. Let's get back to our presentation. So the next topic is alarm escalation rules. What is alarm escalation rules? So we may mistakenly not notice an alarm or prioritize a few alarms over others and miss business critical alarms. OPM MSP has an alarm escalation feature for this very purpose that can also act as your secondary alert or can directly escalate the alerts to the next level team so that the device triggering the alarm is addressed promptly. The alarm escalation rule will trigger an alert depending on the settings. So, for instance, CPU utilization of a server is important and it has to be kept under control. If you have not identified this alarm, there will be a lot of business impact. It will also impact the device, making it run slower, and also it will not allow other applications or services to run smoothly. With OpManager MSP, you can effortlessly customize alert resolution delay after which an alarm has to be triggered. Stakeholder specific alarm escalation messages can also be created. This helps to make sure all the alerts are cleared without much delay. This feature also helps MSPs to ensure client network SLAs are met. Let me take you through the process of setting up an alarm escalation in the product. Go to settings again, and you'll find alarm escalation rules button under configuration tab over here. So if the rule is enabled, it means that the alarm escalation rule which you created is active. You have to check this box for this rule to be enabled. Otherwise, by default, it will be disabled. To add new rule, you can go to add rule, give a name, and select the severity category. Also, you can filter the rules for which you'd like to apply this rule. You can filter the alarms for which you'd like to apply this rule, and you can choose customers, and you can also give enable notifications via email or SMS. You can configure them here in this window itself and save. Once you click on save, a new alarm escalation rule will be created, and make sure you enable it. So this is a quick glimpse on alarm escalation rules, followed by network fault management. Let's take a look at integration and workflow automation. Integrations are the easiest way to increase the capability of any network monitoring tool, and OpManager MSP is no exception. We have an inbuilt integration with Service Desk Plus MSP. Once the alerts are raised in MSP, respective tickets will be raised on the Service Desk Plus MSP interface and the clients would be notified. Configuring integration to client-specific Service Desk Plus MSP accounts ensures faster troubleshooting. This out-of-the-box feature lets you customize the message in the alert that are to be passed on as tickets for each client based on your requirement. Client-specific ITSM ticketing mechanism ensures faster troubleshooting. This will result in improved fault management efficiency. Let's explore this feature in the tool. Go to Settings. You'll find third-party integrations under General Settings column. And here is where you configure Service Desk Plus MSP. You can provide the server name, MSP key, admin key. You can choose between create new ticket or reopen close ticket whenever an alert keeps reappearing. And you can also associate this to specific customers and to the Service Desk Plus accounts you create. And this will just take a few minutes of your time. It is very simple and straightforward. Up next, we have the automation workflow. Workflow is a feature that allows you to automate your L1 and L2 fault management tasks of your multi-client networks. And depending on the alarm that is getting generated, you can create your workflow with just a few drag and drops. It is very simple. You just need to drag and drop the various conditions that you need and create meaningful information. This feature helps us save time, reducing the manual effort, and has a lot of other benefits as well. This leads to faster troubleshooting, reduced mean time to resolve, and improves operational efficiency. Workflows can be triggered whenever a fault is raised or for maintenance purpose as well. Let's check out this feature. To select a probe, let me take you to a different setup. Go to workflow. So this is how a workflow looks once it's created. You can choose actions for which you'd like to perform, uh, trigger this workflow, and you can edit it whenever you want. You can select the available devices and you can configure trigger, and also you can associate notification profile with it. Let me show you how to create a new one. Go to workflow, select on new workflow. You can also import workflow. Click on new workflow. All you have to do is just drag and drop the tasks from the panel over here. Can ping a device. It's yes, start a service. If it's a no, you can reboot this system. So this is how you drag and drop actions and form a meaningful information. Once you're done creating workflow, you can go to next step. Select devices for which you'd like to associate this workflow with. Go to next. You can choose when do you want to trigger this workflow. Next. And you can apply this profile all the time or just for a specific window. You can delay the trigger. You can also give recurring trigger details over here and save. This is a quick glimpse of workflow. Let's get back to our presentation. Moving on to our next part of the session. The next topic we are going to discuss is network visualization. With growing business requirements and needs, any client organization's network can become increasingly sophisticated and complex. Distributed topology and complex technologies in use only make it much harder for MSPs to monitor multi-client networks for performance, availability, and network faults. You can circumvent these bottlenecks using OpManager MSP's exhaustive network visualization capabilities. Let's see how OpManager MSP does that. You can easily gain in-depth visibility into critical metrics of all the devices in your client's network. MSPs can create individual or collective views and monitor selective categories of devices or business critical devices. Isn't that efficient? Also, there are several features in OpManager MSP to help you have a granular and holistic view of all your client networks. Why don't we check out these features and learn how to efficiently visualize your client network's performance? Dashboard is one of the powerful features in OpManager MSP that helps you visualize and get to the smallest details in your client network devices easily. Why do we need visualization in the first place? Let me tell you why. Data becomes useful only when it is presented clearly to the right audience. Apart from the presentation, instantly identifying network faults and performance makes MSP's work more simple. This is why we need visualization, and all this can be achieved with the help of a network monitoring dashboard. Dashboards give an at a glance overview of the status of your client's network with critical metrics from routers, switches, firewalls, servers, services, applications, URLs, printers, and other infrastructure devices. One-click data refreshment ensures you're always working with the most up-to-date information. With real-time performance graphs readily available, MSPs can quickly troubleshoot problematic devices from remote location. This tool also allows you to gain a holistic view of your multi-client network devices and customize them based on your requirements. You can also provide or revoke access to dashboards to your MSP operators or custom users based on the necessity. As we discussed in our first session, giving access only to the required data will increase security. Let's check this feature in our product. Go to dashboard. This is how dashboard looks. You can rearrange the widgets as you wish based on your necessity, and there are a lot of inbuilt dashboards, network, server, virtualization, and more. You can create your own custom dashboard by going to dashboard, go to create new dashboard, give a name. You can choose widgets. These widgets will be displayed in the dashboard you create and click next. You can select users for whom you like to show this dashboard, and these people can access the dashboard as well. Create new dashboard will be created. So now that we understood how dashboards in OpManager MSP works, let's move on to the next critical feature that takes off the load from your operators. Network Operations Center or NOC view. A Network Operations Center or NOC is like a command center for admins and MSPs. This is where network admins monitor and manage your client's network or an entire IT infrastructure to ensure the high availability of business critical services to meet evolving business needs. It is basically a bigger version of dashboards. Uh, Dashboards are client specific or device specific, but NOC views gives you a universal view of an entire client's network in a single pane of glass. The goal of any NOC is to maintain optimal network performance and availability and to ensure continuous uptime of business critical services. The NOC manages a lot of critical activities, including monitoring network, servers, and applications for health and performance, analyzing bandwidth, and proactively identifying bottlenecks. You can constantly keep track of security threats and attacks and analyze easily with NOC view. You can modify network configurations based on the business needs. You can spot faults and troubleshoot quickly to reduce the mean time to repair. Multiple client dashboards can be integrated into a single NOC view, and you can view the overall status of multi-client networks simultaneously. OpManager MSP also lets you to embed NOC view on larger screens and share real-time status of client networks with your team. Let's explore NOC view. Go to dashboard, NOC view. Let me show you how a sample NOC view looks like. So this is the NOC view. You can see a timer over here. When this timer is up, this screen will be moved to the different dashboard automatically. You can also select the dashboard manually from this drop down window over here. You can pause the dashboard so that the screen will not be moved to the next dashboard. Also, you can use this link to embed this on larger screen and share the data uh, with your team. Let me show you how to create a new custom NOC view. Go to create NOC view, give a name, provide a refresh interval, choose dashboards. All the created dashboards and available dashboards will be displayed here. You can also choose a single widget from a particular dashboard and create your own custom NOC view. The NOC view is created, and let's give it a minute. This is how it looks. And once this timer is up, it will be moved to the next dashboard. This SPM, you can also manually change the dashboard. So this is just a quick glimpse about NOC views. Let's get back to our presentation. Let's move on to our next topic. Layer 2 maps help you discover the client networks quickly. A major advantage of using this discovery method is that you can discover the entire network through the seed or core router. Let us assume that you are expanding your branch by adding more devices to your network, but you have no idea of the approximate range of IP addresses used by your devices. But you know the IP of a seed router. Using that information, we can discover all the devices present in your network. Additionally, we can map all the devices and plot them the way they are arranged in your physical network. Interesting, is it? In OpManager MSP, Layer 2 discovery helps network administrators, data center admins to visualize their complete client network infrastructure with a live network map. It automatically discovers, maps, and reports the complete set of devices that are present in your infrastructure in less than no time. It also offers periodical network rediscovery options to keep the map live and up to date. You can export these network maps to PDF, take printouts, and share it with your peer groups. You can easily export layer 2 maps directly to Microsoft Visio. To know more details about that, please visit our help page to understand how to do it and what are the prerequisites. Let's go to OpManager MSP setup, maps. You can create layer 2 maps by clicking on this plus icon over here. You can provide a name for this layer 2 map and router IP address, which is the seed, seed core router. You can give the IP range and click on add. You can also select credentials. And if you check the set uplink dependency checkbox, it means that the seed core router will be treated as the parent device. Once you are done creating layer 2 map, it will look like this, which is shown over here in the slide. With this map, you can clearly understand the network topology and the dependency between the devices easily. This is just a gist about layer 2 maps. And to know more about layer 2 maps and OpManager MSPs, other features in depth, you can always request for personalized demo from our product experts. A poll will be triggered now. You can give us a yes if you want a personalized demo from our product experts, and our product experts will call you and give you a one-on-one demo session. You can clear all your doubts and understand OpManager MSP in much more detail. Let's move on to our next topic, business view. So Business View is one of the most frequently used features of OpManager MSP. The reason is Business View. The reason is Business View allows you to add links between devices and helps to represent the network diagram. These links can be configured based on user requirements. The Business View gives you an overall view of your distributed network. And if you would like to make changes in the threshold or change the monitoring setting of an interface or device, simply click on it and you will be taken to the snapshot view of the device or interface. You can identify the status of a particular network component based on color coding. You can easily identify the devices that are down, a device that is critical, and so on from a single glance. For example, if you see this image, the uh, device over here is down and the device over here with looks green is perfectly normal. So you can identify the status of the device easily. The business view can also be used to fetch reports. This means you have created a business view with certain devices and interfaces. And if you wanted a report of their metric, that is possible with OpManager MSP. You can do it in just a single click. Let's explore business view in our setup. Go to maps. Let me take you to the different setup. You can also embed your business view in your dashboard for your team to understand the details about the devices that you have added in the business view. Go to maps. You can create new business view over here. All the available devices are displayed in the left panel. You can just drag and drop the devices that you need to add in the business view. Click on the device and interlink them. You can provide the link properties as well. You can provide interface list, interfaces for, and more. You can provide a background image as well. This is how business view looks like. This is how it works in OpManager MSP. You can also go to list view once it is created to view the details about all the devices in a list. And by clicking on the device, you will be taken directly to the device snapshot page. You can also view the dashboard by the click of a button. You can export all these details as PDF as well and send it to your customers, colleagues, so on and so forth. Let's get back to our presentation. Followed by business view, we have another option called map. This is one of the most important features offered by OpManager MSP. In OpManager MSP, you have the option to create and visualize your network infrastructure over the map so you can get a clear picture of the geographical distribution of your network devices. This helps in easier identification in case there is an outage. We have two types of maps available. The first one is Google Maps. In case you have an API key purchased from Google, you can make use of this. If not, we also have a map developed by Zoho for you called Zoho Maps. You can directly import client devices to map. Let's explore this feature. Go to Maps. You'll find Zoho or Google Maps over here. So this is where you configure Google Maps. You can browse the map file, provide the API key, and it will be done. You can also use Zoho Maps, which is free of cost. All you have to do is just double click on the map. Let me take you to a different setup. All you have to do is just double click on the map and choose if it's a device or a probe and click on add. This will help you understand the geographical distribution of your client network devices and probes, followed by maps. Our next topic is NCM add-on, Network Configuration Manager add-on. As you know, OpManager MSP is always upgrading. We have a new feature released this year, that is Network Configuration Manager add-on. The growing business need will in turn grow your network, and we make a lot of configuration changes on a day-to-day basis. Let me give you an example. Let's assume you have to add one device to your network, so you will be able to log into PuTTY and do the configuration. If you wanted to make the same change to many devices of all your clients' network, you will look for an option to push the configuration in bulk. In that case, you have to log into each device manually and make necessary changes. Because of that, there might be a configuration error, or you may forget to record the change. It would be beneficial if you used a network configuration manager to avoid these. So you will be able to minimize configuration errors and detect the configuration change. For example, if a technician makes a change, you will be aware of which device and what configuration changes have been made. So let's see how OpManager MSP's NCM add-on is helpful for us. With this add-on, you can track every change that is made to your client network devices. OpManager MSP can help you take configuration backups automatically or schedule them. With NCM add-on, you can automate or schedule day-to-day network configuration tasks in bulk as well. You can keep up with the latest compliance policies like HIPAA, SOX, Cisco iOS, PCI, and also create your own custom policies. Another important feature is that you can scan, spot, and fix firmware vulnerabilities with the relevant patches suggested by OpManager MSP. Let's go to OpManager MSP's demo setup. Under Network Config Management, you'll be able to view all the devices that are discovered over here. You can click on a device to view all the details about the device and the configuration changes that has been made. Let me take you to a different setup where the data is available. Yes. So you can find the configuration changes made. You can understand what type of configuration change has been made, whether it's authorized or unauthorized, and config type, if it's running or not. And also you can find out who has changed what easily from this config changes tab. You can also find all the device details over here. By enabling syslog change detection, you can easily get notified whenever a small change is made, so that you will understand if the configuration is authorized, unauthorized, or if it's a misconfiguration. You can easily identify and go back to your baseline configuration setup before uh, before there is a network downtime or a server downtime, so on and so forth. Also, uh, let's go back to our config management window. These are the compliance policies that are available. You can run compliance check. You can associate devices easily from this tab. You can select devices and save. You can run ad hoc tests. You can generate report easily from this window. Also, you can create new custom policies by clicking on this plus icon over here. You can give a policy name, description, select the configuration type, if it's startup or running, and select the rule groups and create your own custom policy. We have another feature called firmware vulnerability. All the devices and the network will be scanned periodically to spot firmware vulnerabilities, and all the firmware vulnerabilities that are identified will be displayed over here. You can filter them based on its criticality. Critical ones are displayed over here. You can display the important ones, and moderate and low. These are the patches that are suggested by OpManager MSP. You can refer the URLs and apply the patches as soon as possible so that your network is not open to security breaches or intrusions. This is all about network configuration management. Let's get back to our presentation. The next topic in the queue is client network reporting. Organizations often have limited in-house developed solutions for reporting. These solutions tend to leverage data drawn after the fact from their client network monitoring tools using spreadsheet-based outputs. Your tool will have a lot of data accumulating to gigabytes of disk space, and if the tool is capable of providing immediate and intelligent reports like OPM MSP, it will make a world of difference in running a well-planned, optimized client IT infrastructure. Proactive client performance alerting. In OpManager MSP, you can schedule reports and have them delivered to your email address or pull reports manually. Health report of your routers and switches. There are pre-made reports that can fetch you the devices with highest packet loss or response time. There is also an interface availability report. You can pull certain hardware performance metrics. You can identify the device with heavy incoming and outgoing traffic. Similarly, high incoming and outgoing errors or discards, and so on. OpManager MSP also allows you to create custom reports based on the data that you want. Let's go to reports. These are the reports that are available by default in OpManager MSP. Go to all customers to activate advanced report feature. These are the advanced report which I have created already. You can go to create new report, give a name, description. You can select columns and add them in your report. You can select columns from any report and you can group them, apply criteria, filter them as well. This is all about reports. Let's get back to our presentation. The next topic in queue is Data Collection Manager. The Data Collection Manager feature in OpManager MSP aids in viewing all the client's monitor, interface, credential-related issues in a single pane so that any monitors or interfaces without ongoing data collection can be easily identified. It keeps a vigilant eye on data collection and helps achieve better scalability. Data Collection Manager also lets you improve the efficiency of polling and reduce unnecessary polling load on the server. It improves the overall data collection performance in the OpManager MSP server and helps streamline the server's resources to reduce unnecessary load. So, how does OpManager MSP's Data Collection Manager work? Let me give you an example to explain this. Let us take an interface like Ethernet and assume we are polling it for data once every 5 minutes. If the monitor responds, it remains in a normal monitored state. However, if we fail to get a response for say 6 hours, it is moved to a suspended state and we still try to poll the device using a delayed polling interval of say once in every 5 hours for the next 7 days. If we still fail to get a response from the monitor, it is then moved into the disabled state. Let me show this to you in the OpManager MSP product. To support diagnostics under self-support column. So all these monitors are in suspended state, meaning they'll be pulled uh, once in every 5 hours or 6 hours based on the time you give based on the time you've given here. So these monitors will be pulled once in every 6 hours for 7 days, and if the monitor is still unresponsive, then it will be moved to the fail monitors list. Also, you can choose to receive email. You can give the recipient email address here. Every time when a monitor is moved to fail state, monitor interface or credentials are moved to fail state. So this is how data collection manager works. This marks the end of the session, and let's look at the summary of today's session quickly. So first, we discussed network faults and addressing them periodically. Followed by that, we discussed how to create notification profiles, the different types of notification profiles to suit your needs. Followed by that, we discussed alarm escalation rules, how to create rules based on your requirement. And we also discussed how to automate IT tasks with workflow, how to create one. Followed by that, we discussed various visualization features such as dashboard, knock view, layer 2 maps, business views, and more. Followed by that, we discussed NCM add-on, and finally, reports. As I told you earlier, ManageEngine OpManager MSP always undergoes fine-tuning and enhancements, and I have an announcement to make, as a new add-on is going to be released very shortly, and then OpManager MSP will be able to support IP addresses and switchport management. Stay tuned. So to explore what is AIOps and how it can help you upgrade your business, level up your IT operations management game, you can download this white paper and give it a read. The link will be posted in the channel in a few seconds. Also, give us your review on Captra. Help us spread the word about OpManager MSP. You can drop your queries to this mail ID, and also follow us on LinkedIn and YouTube to know more about our latest releases, events, and other tools as well. On behalf of ManageEngine and team, I thank you all for your presence. A quick poll will be triggered now. Please give us your valuable feedback on this presentation. It'll be very useful for us to improve in the future. A quick poll is being triggered. Kindly give us your feedback on the presentation. On behalf of ManageEngine and team, I thank you all for your presence.